So you and Devon talked about this on Devon's podcast because he was talking about when everybody came back for the ECW One Night Stand, and we pulled up. This is the main event of One Night Stand 05.
Yeah, and I'll give you a little bit of a backstory before we start watching. Yeah. So I get the phone call to come to this thing. It's Dreamer, and he says, we're doing an ECW pay-per-view, and I go, okay. And he says, we want you to be a part of it. Okay. And he says, do you have a problem working with Beulah? And I said, absolutely not. And he goes, I knew you wouldn't. And I said, no, I would love to. He says, okay. And doesn't really tell me much. And, just tells me the date, the time, when to be there, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Tells me my pay. Great. I'll be there. And I get there and, it's a schmoz. Like there's 100 people involved in the match. And I just say, what am I doing? And I don't remember if it was Dreamer or Bubba, because I think Bubba was kind of an agent in this whole thing too. And my spot is very small and very simple. And I go, got it. And I go and I leave. I never once listened to any of the match, what they were doing. I knew what I had to do. I knew how long I had to be out there for. I said, I'm not going to stand here for probably an hour because everybody's got to get their shit in and everybody's talking about what they need to talk about. I never heard a word. Never heard a word. So so fast forward, everybody's out there and I'm at the curtain and I'm watching. I don't know who the agent was. And they're going, go Francine. And I go, nope, not the spot. Go Francine. I said, it's too early. It's not the spot. And they're looking at me. Maybe this is why I didn't last very long. And I go, now's the spot. I open the curtain and I run down. I would have been so early if I would have listened. And I was 100% correct. Yeah. I would have got in there and they would have even had him hooked. But I can't remember who was telling me to go. And I'm like, nope, not yet. Not yet. I'm telling the agents, like, shut up. I got it. But there were so many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. I was just thinking that.
And I also remember Bubba saying, you better bump for her. And I go, why wouldn't I? Of course I'm going to. What? And he goes, okay, I'm just saying. What?
We'll get to when you pop in. Exactly. And I really
before everything's going on. And
yeah, that's what I'm curious because it's a lot of movement. And I mean that's kind of typical for ECW. It's kind of you always had a lot of run-ins and a lot of, calamity, but this was like before even the bell rang. And as we pick it up.
Well, I also think that they wanted to give everybody an opportunity to work and to be a part of it. And, if we didn't include all these people, then they wouldn't have had a spot on the show. Right. So that could be a factor as well, because this was just like, hey, everybody, let's have 42 people in this match,
But now, so the night before you worked the other reunion, the Shane reunion, right?
I worked Shane's on a Friday.
Oh, it was Friday. Okay, so it was Friday and this was Sunday. Okay, so yeah, that was the big thing. Who was going to be on which show, Friday and the Sunday? But for the most part, so you had seen a lot of those other guys Friday. Now we got the WWE crew that you probably hadn't seen in forever, right? When you roll up for the first time?
Yeah, well, there was some people that were on Shane's show, and I kayfaved everyone because I was supposed to be a surprise.
Right.
I didn't tell anyone. And I remember Gary saying, I thought you said you weren't coming. I was like, it's not that I didn't trust them. I just didn't want it to slip and then have the office say, see, she opened her mouth. Right. So I kept my mouth shut. And so I saw a handful, but there were so many of the boys that I didn't see, like, because they were under contract with WWE. So it was kind of like you got half on one show and then half on the other. And then a couple of us got to do both,
right? Which
was cool. I remember when I was there on Friday at Shane's show, somebody said that a WWE truck drove by. And I was like,
what are they running tags on license plates?
I don't know if they were checking on the house, seeing who was outside, or if they were just, bringing stuff up to New York because they had to drive. But did they have to drive past the ECW arena to do it?
It's kind of a weird stop.
I don't know if it was even true. I was just like, oh, that's cool, but now you have to remember too, doing Shane's show, I wasn't speaking to Shane.
Right.
So that's a whole nother thing there. And we spoke on the phone before I actually showed up. But I mean, so my nerves were bad Friday. My nerves were bad Sunday. I had like this whole weekend of anxiety, but I got paid really good. So it was a really good payday weekend for me. So I said, I'm doing both. I don't care. I'm just going to go in, keep my mouth shut, do my work, take my check and get the hell out of here.
Saturday must have been a hell of a day for you then, because you're through night one and you're for night two.
Yeah, I was just sitting around, just waiting.
Now, is there any chance that they might have told Shane it was a WWF truck or WWE truck just to make him a little more paranoid before his
I don't know, but I just remember it was going around the arena like, oh, WWF truck or WWE truck just drove, but whatever it was back then. And I was like,
my gosh.
Are they checking or are they just taking their stuff up to New York? Like, I don't know. Do
but
they have to go up 95 to do it?
They got to get off just a couple blocks. All right, why don't you hit play? They're the Dudleys. They're brothers.
Exactly. Now, at this point, Beulah and I are standing next to each other at the curtain, and we're just watching. Because there was an order, and I knew the order. I knew it. All I had to do was ask that one time.
All right, so here we go. So here's the Impact players.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Impact players, they're pulling double duty. They were in the opening match.
Okay. Come on.
Oh, I'm like a second behind here. And
I flew up in the air.
You did. No, that's great.
I flew up in the air. I let her beat me up. Come on. And now I leave. Goodbye.
I'm like a hair behind you because my battery thing went. So you're still getting your head smacked off the mat. But you just get the hell out of the ring and you're gone. And I watched you. You literally hold your head. You walk away.
I sold it.
What an exit.
Yeah. And JBL comes up to me and says, "That was great. You did awesome." And I said, "Oh, thank you, sir." Ugh. How could she? Oh, God, girlfriend.
That is nasty.
It's like they just saw each other for the first time.
Yeah,
I felt bad for Beulah.
That's gross. It's all in her hair.
Yes. They edited that DDT, by the way.
They edited out where he
botched it.
Or he Bubba goes too fast.
I don't think it was her fault. It might. I don't know whose fault it was, but they didn't show it.
It looked like Bubba went too fast. If it was,
he might have. Yes.
A quick critique. No, your dress was too nice. You needed to be like more queened out. Like I want the bitch coming out.
I wore.
Come on.
What do you want me to wear?
The 17-year critique. I said.
I just don't know what kind of clothing I should have wore.
I'm not saying go back to like the full, like boobs out and everything outfit, but I don't know. It was just flowery and it was nice.
Oh, that's when Vince came up to me and said, "I'm Vince." I said, "I know." Come on. Oof.
But that was a hell of a bump, though. That was very, very nice. Look at this. Wow.
Another quick story. I might have said this before, but it ties into this match kind of. So Meanie was on both shows with me. Excuse me. And I wasn't speaking to him at this point because when he had his thing with Jasmine St. Clair,
right,
they were making fun of me on these shows, pretending they were me. I don't know why. I don't know why or what drove them to do this, but I was told several times, "Oh, they made fun of you again tonight." Oh, okay. Keep putting me over, negative, positive, you're talking about me, whatever. And I remember at Shane's show, he came up because now he's broken up with her and he's like trying to shake my hand and a bunch of the boys wouldn't shake his hand.
Oh, wow.
No, get out of here. And I didn't shake his hand. I was like, "No, get out of here. You make fun of me. Now you want to be my friend?" He goes, walks away. He was his head down, A lot of the boys wouldn't shake his hand. So Sunday comes, we're driving with Jim Molyneux and Molyneux's got a van. And I get to his house, I park my car, and I go to get in his van, and there's Meanie. And I go, ugh. So I ignore him. I get in the car. I sit in the whatever seat I was in. Coming home, I couldn't ignore him because his face was out to here.
Yeah.
And I was putting ice on his face. We stopped at a rest stop. And I said, I'm mad at you, but I can't be mad at you anymore. And he's like, I'm so sorry. And that was the night that we made up.
Wow. What a story.
Because of JBL beating the shit out of him.
And he complimented you, and he beat the tar out of Meanie's face.
I mean, I feel bad for Meanie, but JBL's always been nice to me. JBL put me over on Raw that one time. I was the only girl that he mentioned from ECW. And I'm just like, I think JBL might kind of just like me a little bit. So I have nothing bad to say about John.
And that is why he is a WWE Hall of Famer.
There you go.
That's why.